We're live. It's Haz Mat time on the Bourbon Note. Proof points. This is the banger that we've all been waiting for. The final round, Haz Mat level. Let's get into it. Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm Ben. As I said, this is Haz Mat level time. Time to get into it here. The final round of proof points. Let's see who we've got in the chat. I'm not going to keep this mask on for the whole episode, just so you know. It's just like these Haz Mat level bourbons, when you pour them, it's kind of like Chernobyl. You got to let it air out a little bit before you can take off the PPE. So we have in the chat, we've got Piper John. What's happening? Peter White is here. Steve Joes is here. All right, a few people joining in live. Okay, I think that the Haz Mat vapors and fumes have all kind of aired out a little bit, and we can get into it without the PPE on. So I'm going to very, very carefully. Plus, you don't want to listen to this suit interacting with the mic all night long. Okay, much better. Where is my mic? There we go. Okay, folks, let's get into it. I'm going to move my mic just a little bit here. So you guys let me know. I'm actually using a different mic tonight than I usually do. Major G is here. Yeah, it was very hot. That's why I had to take that crap off of my face. The things I do for a simple joke on this stupid show. So anyway, yeah, we're going to get into it tonight with the Haz Mat level proof points. Started all the way at the bottom, 80 proof. We started this probably a couple years ago now, when they kind of took a break from it. But the whole point of this show was to do kind of every proof level of whiskey, and we started at 80 and pinned a bunch of those 80 proofers against each other. Then we just kind of moved our way up, 86, 90, 94, 100, mid-hundreds, and we've just done all of them. And so now tonight we're in the Haz Mat north of 140. And so what I've got in the glasses, these are mixed up so they're totally random, but I've got 3 pours here. One of them is Old Dragon Bones. That's a single barrel rye from Storytime Distillery at 147.2 proof. I've got Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, 141.5 proof, and then I've got a Stag Junior store pick that was sent in by Mikey Likey Whiskey, and that one's 142.2 proof. So let's get into it. I'm not going to wear this crap for the entire episode, because I have a feeling that what's going to happen is this suit is just going to rub up against my microphone. So I got the joke in. I'm going to mute the mic for just a second so I can take this off. Please hold. All right, thank you for your patience on that. I'm also going to take a seat because it gets to be a little long standing for the whole hour. Cheers, Oak and Agave. What's happening? That's a new name in the chat. If Oak and Agave, if that's a channel, feel free to go ahead and promote yourself in the channel. I always welcome channels that I don't know about. You know, throw your info in there. Okay, so I also am going to have a Patreon-only giveaway tonight. Oh, Oak and Agave's got 133.3 proof Jack Daniel's single barrel proof banger in the glass. Damn near to Haz Mat level. William Hall, cheers. What's happening? Happening. I almost said what's up and happening at the same time. So anyway, I'm going to do a Patreon-only drawing as well. The 3 bottles I've got in the 2-ounce sample kit. I've got BAM Larceny Barrel Proof C924. I figured I'd throw this one in here just because it's been so hard to get. I don't know if it has been in your area, but I know in a lot of areas it has. Got a Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. And I'm finally ready to actually get into this bottle. The wound is healing. This is the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor, bottled in bond from Paul Sutton. Paul Sutton's a new brand to me that I've sampled a couple times and been impressed with. And again, after the the collapse of the Minnesota Vikings in the final 2 games of the season. I wasn't ready yet to get into that, but I am now. So 2 ounces of each of those. If you want to throw in a $5 super chat, that'll get you an entry into the drawing as well. Let's see, Major G, even 3 small pours is going to get you warmed up. Yeah, I have a feeling it is. I tried to keep these as small as possible, and then one of them I accidentally poured a little bit more into, so then I had to even it out. So, so I couldn't tell which one is which. And so, yeah, I've got, I mean, this is about probably a 2.5 ounce pour total. So it's not overly huge.
That's what she said.
It's, when you're north of 140, you've got, you don't have much wiggle room. So anyway, my pro team is Alabama. I'm not a college sports follower, so I don't even know which one Alabama is, which I probably look like an idiot to some people because of that. But, what do you do? I'm just an NFL Minnesota Vikings fan. So let's see. Oak and Agave is sipping on some Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. What are you guys getting into before I get into the start of this here? Let me know what you're sipping on in the chat. All right. Also, how does the audio sound, by the way? I'm using a different mic tonight than I normally do. I'm using a wireless mic. I typically use these wired mics, but I don't know. When I'm doing a live stream, if I want to randomly go grab a different bottle or something like that, it's just a little confining. So anyway, well, let's get into it. So as I said, I've got Old Dragon Bones Canadian Rye, 16-year rye, 147.2 proof. I don't know which one's which. Coy Hill, 141.5 proof, and Stag Junior Single Barrel at 142.2 proof. Audio is a bit tinny, but okay. If it's annoyingly tinny, let me know, because I can very easily switch to the wired mics, and those will probably sound a little bit better. I just wanted to try this new mic. These are super cheap. I got them off of the Amazons. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can hear back how it sounds. Okay. Major G, Old Granddad Bonded, 100 proof. Nice. That's a good pour. Sound fine. My audio sucks. So Oak and Agave, that's you're a channel. I don't know. Maybe if one of the mods can go find Oak and Agave's channel and throw a link in the chat here. So let's start to get into the tasting here. I'm going to go through and nose these. This is one of those flights where these are legitimately 3 of the best whiskeys I have. The Stag Junior store pick was a sample, but let's see. But it was one of the better whiskeys I've had. Sounds good enough for who it's for. I like it. Okay. So, even the loser out of this flight is still one of the best whiskeys on my shelf. And I got to tell you, right on the nose, these are all bangers. Old Forester Bonded, nice. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I check the audio on my phone because I usually keep the live stream playing on my phone just in case something goes wrong, so I can quick mute and listen back and see if there's like an audio issue or something like that. I've had live streams before where I've gotten all the way through it and then realized that I had the gain turned up. I actually have a different setting for filming reviews. So if I do recorded content, I have to have the gain set up to 12, but for live streaming, I can only have it set up to 3. Otherwise, it starts to clip. So every once in a while, I'll forget to change that for the live stream, and then I'll get through the whole thing and realize that the audio is just jacked the whole time. So I listened back to it a little bit on here. It doesn't sound too bad. It is a little bit tinnier, though. I did notice that when I was testing the audio. But yeah, like I said, if it gets annoying, just let me know. It's just a little more free to have the wireless, because I have to take these stupid wired mics. They work awesome. I love them. But then I have to put them underneath my shirt and then out the top and clip them so I don't have wires hanging from me. And then every time I do that, I inevitably have to go change some setting on the cameras, and I got to undo them and take them out and then go back. And I end up doing that like 5 or 6 times. So anyway, let's get a little water and get this started. What's up, OG Brick? So Oak and Agave, I'm guessing, are you a tequila channel? Good Lord, these all have a great nose to them. Interestingly enough, the Old Dragon Bones is a rye, and I'm not picking up on one that's just overtly and obviously a rye. Thank you, Steve Joes. There you go. Go subscribe to Oak and Agave. I will do that after the show. Yeah, I'm not getting one that's like standing out as like overtly rye. So one of these is a Canadian rye. Well, let's get into the first tasting here. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. Tequila and bourbon. All right, that sounds like a party. Oh boy, that's so good. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm definitely doing water between these, just to try to, when you're drinking sips of 100, north of 140, you can blow your palate out fairly quickly. Peter White subbed. All right, good deal. Yeah, I always like it. If you're watching this and you're not in the chat, but you're just watching this, feel free to promote your channel in the chat. Always happy to do that. All right, sample number 2. Let's get into it. Oh my God. I could just sip that all night. That's so good. I wish there was some way to make a lower proof bourbon taste this good, because, I mean, obviously it's 140 proof. You can't, there's only so many pours of it you can have, you know what I mean? Interestingly enough, I had a while ago, I still have a little bit of this, but we had a sample of the Remus Gatsby, and that's one of those ones that's, you should get an IV for hydrate. Did you take Z-Biotics? No, I didn't, but this is all I'm having, and this equals out to about a 2.5 ounce pour maybe. So I'll go through this slowly, and yeah, I'll probably have some left over, because I am doing the blend at the end, and I'll probably have some of that left over after the live stream to sip on very slowly. But anyway, what I was saying is that, and let me know your thoughts on this. I had the Remus Gatsby Reserve, and that's actually cask strength at like 95 proof, the one that I had. And so when we did the review of it, I said that it came across a little thin at the 95 proof. And I just didn't think it had the same experience, as it didn't feel like cask strength. And obviously there was less alcohol bite. And then the guy who is like I don't know if he's the master blender or distiller that does the Remus stuff, commented on the video, because I had said that I suspected maybe it was a lower barrel entry proof. And he commented, he said it's not a lower barrel entry proof. And he kind of explained how it ended up being the 90 proof, 95 proof or whatever it was at cask strength. And he said, having higher alcohol content, good evening, Jeff Castle, having higher alcohol content doesn't make a difference in flavor, because the alcohol aspect of it is flavorless. So even at 95 proof, if it's cask strength, it hasn't been watered down, so those flavors have not been watered down, which is interesting. He makes perfect sense. He's absolutely right about that. And so I think what was missing from that is I like the ethanol bite. It's kind of like, to me, drinking something cask strength that's at a lower proof, it's kind of like drinking a Coke that doesn't have all the carbonation. It's kind of going a little flat. It's like that little sting is part of the experience. You guys with me on that? You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, my point is I realize that the alcohol kick, the ethanol itself, doesn't add any flavor, but it adds to the experience. So yeah, anyway, that's a tangent. For crying out loud. I love it when my computer just randomly pops up with information that I didn't ask for. All right, third sample. Yeah, you love that Kentucky hug, and it's kind of part of the experience. Oh, good Lord. Oh, these are all just so good. Nate Carlson, what's happening? Starting a whiskey channel so I can write off the booze. There you go. It helps for sure. That's about the only way I get any money back out of this. I appreciate my Patreon supporters because you guys definitely help out. But by the time Patreon takes their cut, and if you subscribe with an Apple device, Apple takes 30%. Did you guys know about that? If you throw in a super chat, YouTube takes 30% of it. And then if you put the super chat in from an Apple device, have a good night, Okanagabe. If you put the super chat in from an Apple device with Apple Pay, Apple takes 30% of what's left over. So damn near 60%. So 60%, but it's not a full 60% of the total because Apple takes their 30% of the remaining 70%. Anyway, my point is that, yeah, Apple really screws content creators over badly. They just changed it so if you subscribe to my Patreon and you subscribe with an Apple device, Apple will take a 30% cut every single month. That's how bad it is. So if you want to check out the Patreon, please do. But please subscribe through it. Go to a desktop and just go to a desktop window and put your information in if you're going to do that. Otherwise, Apple does this. Yeah, so there you go. That's Apple Pay for you, folks. Thank you, OG Brick, for putting the Patreon up. I'm trying to save my Patreon up to replace my laptop. I've been using a laptop that I bought the store model for $200 like 7 years ago, and it was not built for editing 4K videos. I tell you that much. So at some point, I got to upgrade that. So you Patreon folks that are helping out, that's where that goes. So I appreciate it. All right, let's get into round 2 here. I don't know that I necessarily have one that's standing out as the for sure winner. These are all so good, but I'm going to drink them in the opposite order this time. Oh, man. These are just amazing whiskeys. By the way, if anybody out there can help me secure a bottle of Stag or Antique 107, not on secondary, that would be great. It pisses me off that some of those bottles that should be a little more basic and available aren't. It's like, come on, Buffalo Trace, you can make more Stag Junior. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. I try to do only Venmo and PayPal for that very reason. Yeah, I don't know. If I ever start getting, not around these parts, still haven't found either of those. Yeah, I mean, I don't either. But I hear in some places they're not actually impossible. Like, we get Eagle Rare around here a couple times a year. And in some places, it just sits on the shelves. But I know of places that I've heard of people saying that, Stag Junior I call it still Stag Junior, will still show up, a few times a year on the shelf for a regular price. And Antique 107 will do the same some places. So, yeah. Arizona is your state for Stag. Okay, interesting. Anybody from Arizona? Is Hanging AZ in the house? Man, this is going to be one of the most difficult ones to pick the winner. I'm going to try to guess them too. If I would have had to guess at the beginning of this which one was going to win, I would have no idea because all three of these are just absolutely amazing, and I probably like them all equally. So it's going to be hard to pick a winner. So I didn't come into this with any like preconceived notion of what might, what I assume will be the best one. I mean, most people probably haven't had any of the old Dragon Bones. This is a pick from Storytime Distillery. I did, in the last proof points I did, that was like the mid 130s, there was a Stag Junior in that, and then there was a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof and a single barrel proof rye. Both of those beat the Stag Junior. But who knows? Maybe the Stag Junior is going to come out on top tonight. Can find Buffalo Trace pretty much everywhere. Eagle Rare on a rare occasion if you want to pay $90. Nah, I don't go over $50 for Eagle Rare. I saw Eagle Rare and Blanton's on the shelf the last time I was there. Nice. Were they regular prices? Lance Restemeyer. Restemeyer? I don't know if, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Lance, welcome to the chat. I live in Arizona and go back to Minnesota every August for the great Minnesota Sweat together. See what I did there? They raised the Stag to 120 CAD in Ontario, 84 US. I would buy that. I'd pay 84 for a Stag. Brian, Bourbon School, what's happening, brother? Yes, I'm VA ABC. It's all MSRP. Okay, sweet. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you were out in Virginia. Well, some markup, but controlled pricing. I kind of wish more places were controlled pricing. As much as I don't like the state and local government stepping in to most things, I don't know. It kind of seems like it's kind of a good deal when you just can't get ripped off by every liquor store around you like we can here. Downstate for me, Walmart has it all. Around here, Walmart has JD No. 7, Beam, and Wild Turkey 101. That's about it. Well, we can't even buy liquor at Walmart in Minnesota, so at least you've got that on me. So, oh, Bad Axe Bobby is here.
Booyah!
Cheers all. Adam Favre. Is it Favre like how Brett Favre pronounces it names? Or is it Favre like it should be pronounced? Or Favre? Let me know, Adam, because I'm very curious about that. I never knew how they came up with Favre out of Favre. So, Favre? Okay, Favre. Nice. Well, welcome, Adam. Good to have you in the chat. All right, folks. For those of you that just joined, half of the Whiskey 6 in the house. That's right. Well, actually, we got 3/5 because we always have a guest. So for those of you that just joined, it's the Haz Mat level proof points. I've got Old Dragon Bones from Storytime at 147.2, Jack Daniel's Coy Hill at 141.5, and a Stag Junior single barrel store pick at 142.2. I have them written down over here. That's why I'm looking at them. French pronunciation. Okay, interesting. Favre, something about Mary. Hashtag not a math teacher. All right, going through. I don't know how I'm going to pick a winner out of this. These are just, now I'm going to drink from middle out because I haven't drank the middle one as the first sample yet. Got to be fair and do that a little bit. What's up, Ryan Frank? Good to see you. Ryan, did you head down to the Buffalo Community Center tonight and go see Willie and Sonny? $140 plus Stag. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing sample sent in by Mikey Likey Whiskey, Mike Belland. So, Mike, if you catch this on the rebroadcast, thank you very much. It's an incredible sample. Yes, hit that like and go hit the subscribe over at Bourbon School and Bad Axe Bourbon. I'll drink this one second. Oh, so good. A couple old Dragon Bones samples, still have one left. Peter White, which ones have you had? The one I have is the original, just old Dragon Bones. And then there's the Ida and the, oh, for God's sakes, what's it called? Do I still have any of that? Coulibre. Both absolutely amazing. So, yeah. All right, let me get another sip of this one. I have a feeling that the blend of these might be incredible. Okay. I think this one's my winner. Sample number 3. I haven't had the Coy Hill for a while. Let's see. I have both of the samples you have, courtesy of Alex Breyer. That's my pronunciation of that. That's awesome, Peter. Those are great ryes. And while you're at it, go sub to the Whiskey 6. Yes, go sub to the Whiskey 6. I wonder if I have my... I used to have an overlay, and I think it got deleted somehow. Let's see if I can... Oh, there we go. Boom! There we go. So yeah, folks, if you... blend will come in a tick over 100 or 420 proof. Yes, it will. So right down here, folks, if you want to see 2 live streams a month with me, Bad Axe Bourbon, Bourbon School, Bourbon Drop, and Sean from Whiskey Wars / Mash and Metal. And then we have a guest on every live stream, a different guest. Next week it's going to be Rare Barrel, fellow Minnesota Whiskey channel. Go check out at the Whiskey 6. If you just try to search the Whiskey 6, a bunch of other stuff will come up. It's not a big enough channel yet that that it'll show up in the search. But if you go to just search at the Whiskey 6. We have a ton of fun on that channel, and we're gonna start going live twice a month. And so basically, I was meant to announce this too. The way I'm going to do my live streams, I'm doing 2 here per month, and then I'll be joining the Whiskey 6 for 2 per month. So I'll be going live in some capacity pretty much every week. But it'll be 2 a month on this channel, and there's going to be Patreon-only giveaways. Speaking of which, Patreon giveaways tonight. Larceny Barrel Proof C924, Michter's Barrel Strength, and the Paul Sutton Bottled in Bond Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor edition. So if you're a Patreon subscriber and you haven't won the last 2 drawings, you'll be entered into a sample pack, 2-ounce samples of each of those. So Adam Favor subscribed and liked. Nice. Lied. Got one of those other channels. Now the Whiskey 6. All right. Awesome. Adam, I think we're going... So yeah, it'll be next week. We'd be going live with Rare Barrel as our guest. So yeah, also go subscribe to Rare Barrel. Those are good folks. Okay, so I'm gonna set this sample out, sample number 3, as my winner. It's gonna come down to these 2, and I'm gonna try to guess what these are before I reveal my winner. So let me get a little bit more into this one. Oh. Clarity? I vaguely remember when I had clarity. Did I miss something? Let's see. I, in a fit of rational thinking, got both Storytime ODBs. Moment of clarity, that worked out. Nice. Let's see here. All right. Well, welcome everybody else who just hopped in here. I'm going to raw dog now these 2 at the end here. Okay. I have my order. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to try to guess what they are. I'm going to pick an order, but I will say this. Each one of these is pretty much as good as the other. It's just one of them they're offering different things. Ben, you're so hip with the kids. Raw dog. Yeah, that's how I roll. I'm retired from clarity as well. Okay, so in 3rd place, I think this is the ODB. And the only reason I'm putting it in 3rd place is because the other 2 are bourbons, and I'm just feeling bourbon a little bit more. The rye stands out. I didn't notice it on the nose quite as much. And And so the rye stands out kind of on an island of its own. But I would say quality-wise, this is every bit as good as both of these samples. I'm just feeling the more bourbon-y vibes tonight. Cheers, Beach Sand Bourbon. Go subscribe to Beach Sand Bourbon. So I think third place is the rye. I'm getting very, very rye vibes. And I think it's 100% rye, if I remember correctly. 16 years old. I have said before that Old Dragon Bones ODB is one of the best whiskeys on my shelf, and I stand by that. It's definitely top 5. It's top 5 and it's not 5. Not number 5. So I think third place is the rye. And again, the only reason I set that aside is because I'm just feeling more the bourbon lane tonight. And yes, Jack Daniel's is bourbon, fight me. The second one I do think is the Coy Hill. It reminds me, but it's been a while since I've had either the Coy Hill or the Stag Junior single barrel. But it's got the dark oaky notes that I remember off of the Coy Hill. And sample number 3 here has, and this could be just power of suggestion, but I'm getting a grapey sort of vibe from it. It's got this great, like, sweet, and there's like a little bit of fruit on that I don't remember getting on the Coy Hill. But again, it's been a while. So I could be totally wrong about that. But I think number 1, I think the Stag might come out on top, which will be interesting because in the last time I did this, the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye and the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof both beat the other Stag samples. So let's get into the big reveal here. So in third place, the final round, the Haz Mat round of proof points on the bourbon note is the Old Dragon Bones. All right. Old Dragon Bones gets the third place bronze medal. And I would say third place bronze medal of my whole whiskey collection. This is damn near unbeatable. And it makes me very sad that I only have a little bit left of that bottle. And I will never have another one again because it's freaking amazing. So let's go into sample number 2. Actually, I'm going to reveal sample number 2 first tonight. And then we'll do the runner-up and then that'll tell who the winner is. So sample number 2. Runner-up on the final round of proof points is... No, it's the Stag. The Coy Hill is the winner. I got those backwards. That's interesting because I do not remember getting that kind of light grape note on Coy Hill, but I have gotten that previously on Buffalo Trace products. I don't think that's an uncommon note to get. So, man, that's interesting. Well, all of these are nearly impossible to get. And again, these are, 3 of the best whiskeys I've had. So yeah, got to give it to the Coy Hill. That's awesome. So I'm definitely going to do the blend here, but I want to get another taste of each of these real quick, just to, now that I know what they are. Man, that Coy Hill. That's so good. That's just unbelievable. Yeah, that really throws me for a loop because I would have bet the farm that was the Stag. Just goes to show you, sometimes you have those biases kind of built in. It's like I got a fruity note that reminded me a little bit of grape, and that's definitely more of a Buffalo Trace style note. I get that on Eagle Rare as well. I guess now that I know what this is, my brain is telling me to look for it, so I guess maybe I can see it a little bit, but I honestly, that's interesting. Oh, I think on any given day I could have picked any of these to be number 1. These are just amazing. It really is like, as much as I don't really chase allocated whiskey anymore. I mean, I would love to get some, like I said before, if anybody can help me get a Stag Junior or an Antique 107, because I just genuinely enjoy those. Sometimes, though, you have just a really, really special pour of whiskey that it shows you what whiskey is capable of. Because sometimes, most of the time you have an allocated one, and if it's like a mid-level allocated one, like your Blantons or your Elmer T. Lees or something like that, a lot of times they're good whiskeys, but they don't live up to anything. any of the hype. Wrapping birthday present. Daughter turns 18 tomorrow. Oh, that's awesome. Tell her happy birthday from the Bourbon Note. Have a good night, Brian. But yeah, once in a while you get, like, these are all obviously, this is a 16-year age stated. I think the Coy Hill is 9 years. And when you get up into that 140 proof, I don't know what the age on this Stag single barrel is, but these are all really, really special whiskeys that, like I said, this is one of those flights that you drink these and these stand out for sure over a standard really good bourbon. Now, I still will say the Jack Daniel's single barrel proofs and the single barrel proof ryes, just the shelfers, those, I don't know if maybe they would beat any of these, but they'd be right up neck and neck with it. So, I mean, I still think those are the best available whiskeys on the market for the value too at $70. At least that's what it is here in Minnesota. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys get Jack Daniel's single barrel proof and the barrel proof rye? I've always been curious about that, like what the availability is on that, because we can get them pretty much anywhere at this point. My local liquor store has a single barrel proof that's at 135 proof, so I'm probably going to snag that at some point. And yeah, I think that honestly, of the bourbons I have, or that with the Stag as a sample, but these are probably the only two that I would have even considered in the running to possibly beat the Old Dragon Bones. Maybe the Thomas H. Handy, but I don't think so. I don't think that one would beat it. Sugar Kitty is in the house. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. Yeah, that one's not bad. I like Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. I can find the bourbon, Tennessee, bourbon, but I rarely see the rye. Okay. And that's down in Florida, right, Piper John? I should know this. I just sent you samples. By the way, did you get into those samples yet? I would love it if you did a comparison of the 70th anniversary and the regular 101, just to see. You did get into them, okay. Just to see if I'm completely... Oh, yes, on living in Florida, not yet on the samples. Okay, I gotcha. I would love to see if I'm still the only one on an island. So that did a blind of the the 70th anniversary and the regular Wild Turkey 101, and I picked the regular Wild Turkey, and I got a lot of hate for it. Single barrel proof is here and there. It's around, just not everywhere. Okay. William Hall, meow for Sugar Kitty. All right, folks, here goes the blend. This is, these blends don't always turn out. I said this on the last one. I blended the 135 proof flight, which was the single barrel proof rye, the regular single barrel proof, Stag Junior, and what else was it? Was it an Elijah Craig, or I can't remember what else was in the... What else do I even have? Oh, it might have been, it was an Old Forester single barrel proof. And the blend wasn't as good as any of them on their own, I don't think. Need to pick up a fresh bottle of 101. Okay, sweet. I'm definitely interested in seeing how that turns out. And I'm super looking forward to getting into the samples that you sent, Piper John, so thank you very much. Piper John sent a killer sample pack, so look out for some reviews coming your way. This is going to be a very interesting blend. I'm assuming. We're going to let this marry for a second. So Piper John sent me some of the Balcones, the Baby Blue or whatever it is. It's their corn whiskey. Interested in trying that. I mentioned in my previous live stream that I hate Balcones products. So I didn't ever buy a bottle of it, but I was interested in corn whiskey. So thank you for sending me that, because it's a brand I would never, ever buy a bottle of. So I'm interested in getting to try it. So Piper John, don't be offended if I despise it, because I haven't liked anything from Balcones. But I've always wanted to try that particular whiskey. So for those of you just joining, we did the final level of proof points. I've got Old Dragon Bones Canadian Rye at 147.2 proof. Coy Hill at 141.5 proof, and Stag Junior Single Barrel at 142.2 proof. And the Coy Hill won, Stag Junior came in second, and the Old Dragon Bones in third. 3 of the best whiskeys I have in this room. And now I've got the blend, so let's see what happens. I'm interested in seeing how the rye adds to this. All right, Balcones Baby Blue. Not Baby Blue, True Blue, cast strength, store pick. Okay, so but that is still the blue corn whiskey though. That's just the cast strength version of it, John. Is that what I'm getting? Balcones Baby Blue is really good. I had Balcones rye, and it's just god awful. And I hate just like ripping on a brand, but oh my god. That blend, that's science, baby. Yes, it is. Nothing but pure science on the Bourbon Note. Hey, folks, remember, go subscribe to @thewhiskey6. That's the Bourbon Note, me, Bad Axe Bourbon, Bourbon School, Bourbon Drop, and then Mash and Metal / Whiskey Wars. And we're going to start going live twice a month, probably every other week, I'm assuming. So I'll be every other week. I'm going to go live on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, and then we'll go live every other Thursday over on that channel. So I'll be doing 2 live streams a month here. So go check that out because we have a special guest on all of those as well. I don't know if they'll all be every other week for sure, just depending on scheduling, but that's probably how it'll work out, I'm assuming. But anyway, 2 live streams there per month, 2 here per month. So if you like me and you like any of those other channels, or just one of those other channels or whatever, and you like them enough to go subscribe, please do so because that's a blast. We have a lot of fun doing those live streams. And we get into some non-bourbon related content too. It's not just bourbon. It usually goes off the rails pretty hard. So, all right, let's get into this blend, folks. On the nose, it's interesting because I will say the rye, like okay, so the 2 bourbon mash bill ones, very, very dark whiskeys. The rye has its darkness, but there's a little bit more, it's got a little bit more bright in it, in the sense that it's just, you know how some whiskeys just kind of have a, oh, you got it, Bobby, anytime. Booyah! This one's just a little bit brighter, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays into this blend. I'm definitely getting a little bit of the rye off of the nose. Interesting, vanilla and oak. I didn't get a ton of vanilla off of any of these individually, but the vanilla is just right in the forefront there. All right, well, let's get into it here. Cheers, folks. Holy Jesus. I inhaled the ethanol fumes on that, and they like went up my nose and made me cough. You know, we always joke around that when you combine them, it's the sum of all of the proof. So this one will be north of 420 proof. This drinks like it's 420 proof. Good Lord. That is just a smack to the face. Let me get another sip of this.
That stuff will melt the shell off a garden snail.
Yeah, that's good. God. Really, really good blend. It drinks hotter than any of these did individually. A lot of oak and caramel, but that vanilla note that's showing up is really interesting because I wasn't getting that off of the individual one. So, all right, folks, let me, love the UP. Let's see, I'll find Beach Sand Bourbon. Oh, Steve Joes, I'll find out this summer heading up to the UP for the first time. Where are you going, Steve Joes, in the UP? It is beautiful up there. I like Mackinac City, Mackinac Island. My oldest stepson goes to college in Sault Ste. Marie up at LSSU. So we've gone up there a couple of times to go see him. And yeah, it's always always a fun time up there. Let me see. Okay, folks, I did not prepare appropriately, so you'll have to bear with me for just a second to let's see, to get my names in for the drawing. Sorry. Okay, so who do I have here? All right, let me cut this one out one last time. Oh, for crying out loud. And I can't remember who won before that. I think it was... Oh, it was Steven Scone. There we go. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I was in such a hurry to get my stupid costume that I started the live stream out with set up that I failed to get my my bourbon raffle wheel of names set up. So let me do this real quick. Delete, paste. All right, we're good to go now. Okay, let's see. Our daughter went to school in Marquette for a year, staying at an old lighthouse turned B&B in Big Bay Point. I've not been to Big Bay Point, but I do agree the Upper Peninsula is beautiful. Yeah, going to Mackinac Island is kind of a trip because there's no motorized vehicles allowed, so it's weird. It's like you get there and you're in the middle of like this really cool, this beautiful downtown area, and it's kind of like a bustling, busy, touristy. There's a lot of people, but it's the weirdest silence because there's no sound of any vehicles at all, and it's kind of bizarre. It's really, really weird. Beach sand bourbon. Let me know if you've experienced that. If you've been to Mackinac Island, it really is a weird sort of lack of sound. So anyway, all right. Let me share my screen here. Microsoft Edge tab. All right. Mackinac Island is so. It is. It's got such a cool vibe to it. Steve, if you're gonna go, if that plays a Big Bay Point, I don't know if that's anywhere near that part of the UP, but 100% recommend go check out Mackinac Island. Google pictures of Mackinac Island, and just the downtown area is so cool. So anyway, all right, let's get this. Let's get the drawing going. Okay, so you guys can see that. Let me go over to. Let me see here how this looks. All right, we're all set here. Stayed at the Grand Hotel in Mackinac Island about 20 years ago. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that place looks cool as hell. All right, let me shuffle these a little bit. And go for the spin. Who will it be? David Williams. All right. David Williams, big winner. He's won a few times now. All right. David Williams is this channel's most OG longtime supporter. So congratulations, David. Happy to be sending samples out of the Larceny Barrel Proof C924, Michter's Barrel Strength Rye, and the Paul Sutton Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor Bottled and Bond. So anyway, folks, yeah. That's there you have the proof points. So if you guys want to check out the Patreon, please do so. I posted some more bonus content there. There's 40 some bonus videos. I'm gonna start doing more of those, doing some behind the scenes stuff. So if you want to check that out, that helps me out a ton. I'm taking any Patreon money that I get throughout the year and putting it towards upgrading some equipment. I definitely need a new laptop. My computer is not built for editing the kind of videos I do at 4K, and so it's really a pain in the ass. I'm looking to finally upgrade that and make that a little bit of a smoother, quicker process. Whatever tier you subscribe at, the higher the tier, the more entries you get. I'm doing 2 drawings a month, so you get entered into the drawings, you get the bonus content, you get the videos early. And I'm going to start working on maybe some Patreon-only related merch as well. I ordered some supplies to start tinkering around with that. So, yeah, if you can check out the Patreon, I would appreciate it. What else was I going to say? Oh, so tomorrow's video is the Larceny Barrel Proof C924. Before we get out of here, let me know in the comments, have you guys been able to find this? Because this one, for whatever reason, was just a nightmare to try to get a hold of. Let's see, what is this? Somewhere in Time, fix that. Oh, I've never seen that. Anyway, so the C924 Larceny was just impossible to find around here, which is weird because usually that one shows up pretty, I mean, they're pretty easy to get, and they show up fairly quick after they come out, maybe a month or so afterwards. Oh, so it's everywhere in Michigan. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have had this one, but this is a good blend. If you're subscribed to the Patreon, the video is available right now. Otherwise, it comes out tomorrow, so this is tomorrow's review. But I know Myron over at Bourbon Drop, like, comment, subscribe to Myron. He had a hard time finding it too, and I think he had to get some help. A friend of his from New York or something got him a bottle or two. And so, yeah, I don't know what the deal with the C924 is. It's kind of like when the C923 with Elijah Craig came out, but I feel like that bottle got so much hype because it was the first one post, minimum 12 years that came out that was over 12 years age state, and it was back up in the 130 proofs. This one, I don't know if there's anything special about it, so I don't know why this one was so hard to find, but it was a pain in the ass. Hard to find because the allocation game is a bunch of ludicrous nonsense. Well, I will agree with you 100% on that, Adam. I just typically don't even participate in it anymore. Like, I always see these new new bourbon labels that are coming out. I follow Coming Whiskey on Instagram, which is a great follow. They post all the new approved TTB labels. I always see these awesome new bottles coming out, but I never get excited about them because it's like, okay, well, there's one more I'll never see. So I have every bottle of Larceny Barrel Proof except a C920, my missing unicorn. C920. I don't think I started getting into these until 21. Let me take a look. No, 22 actually. That was the first time those were even available in Minnesota that I started seeing them. Because when I first started looking for them, they were impossible to find here. I had to draw the line somewhere, so I've never hunted Larceny. Oh, I like Larceny Barrel Proofs. But yeah, this one for some reason, I don't know. In Minnesota since 2022, all the releases have shown up. But they didn't before that, at least not that I ever saw. And I looked for them for like a solid year. None of them came out. And then it was like every release came out like within like a month or so. I mean, around here, there's still bottles of like the previous year's batch all over the place. Same with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, actually, too. That's a damn good blend. So which do peeps like more, Larceny or Elijah Craig Barrel Proof bottles? From what I always hear, I think the general consensus is Elijah Craig. Piper John says Larceny over ECBP. I don't know. I'm kind of a fanboy of Larceny Barrel Proof. I think at the $65 that it usually costs, 60 to 65 bucks, it's just a damn good buy. Not that I see either of them. So you don't get these down there, John? I like the weeded mash bill. I like a good weeder too. Spoiler alert on tomorrow's video. This one has a great wheat note to it. Like this one came across in the review anyway as unmistakably wheated. Had that nice kind of like shortbread and wheat note. So I really, really like this one. So if you guys get a chance, I would definitely recommend picking up a bottle of this one for sure. So yeah, that's it for news. I am going to have some Sample reviews. Piper John sent some killer samples. Hatfield Barbecue sent some killer samples. So looking forward into getting into those. Keep an eye out for the bourbon hunting shorts. Still posting those. Yes, but remember, I live in the middle of nowhere. By the time I drive to a city, they're all gone. Okay, gotcha. The new Penelope Weeded. Yeah, I do want to try that one. Penelope's a weird brand for me because when Greg was on the channel, he bought when Penelope first got to Minnesota, he bought I think there were 4 releases that were available, and I think he bought all 4 of them. And I really liked them, but I wasn't in a hurry to go out and buy them. And I know like Bourbon School, they love Penelope, and I think it's really good. So I want to kind of circle back to that brand and start exploring it a little bit more. But I remember at the time it was really good, but with buying bottles for the channel, since Greg already had those bottles, I didn't feel the need to go out and buy bottles. I was always looking for something new we had never had before, never reviewed before. And so I want to start exploring Penelope more as a brand. Now that they're owned by Ross and Squibb too, MGP, it sounds like they're doing some pretty cool releases. That middle of nowhere problem is why they should let people ship. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of sites that don't ship to Minnesota. Some of them do, but we've got some pretty weird liquor laws here in Minnesota. Well, maybe the Penelope Weeder will be my next pickup. I tried that Green River Foolproof. Really like that, so I think I'm going to explore that brand a little bit more too. Green River, that was just kind of a little bit different than your standard, bourbon profile. There was just something about that was a little bit different, and I really liked it. So, all right, folks. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys all very, very much for watching. Casey Meyer, the Bardstown wheat is fire. Yeah, Casey, welcome to the chat. I'm just about to leave, but welcome to the chat. Yeah, I tried we just started getting Bardstown products in Minnesota sometime this last year. And I had the Bottled and Bond and really liked it. A lot of people were recommending that. Is that the Discovery series? I can't remember which one it was. But it's the basic one you can find in the stores. They've got the regular one, the rye, and then the wheated one that I think is 104 proof or something like that. So yeah, Casey, I'm super looking forward to getting a hold of one of those. But for some reason, I'm not seeing the wheated one here in Minnesota. Peace out. First time I've watched. I'll keep an eye out for your feed. Very good vibe. Hey, thanks, Adam. The reviews come out every Monday and Thursday, and then live streams on Wednesday, probably every other Wednesday from now on. So Hatfield Barbecue, you missed it. What's on the bar top tonight? I had the Haz Mat Proof Points, Old Dragon Bones, 147.2, Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, 141.5, and a Stag Junior Single Barrel Store Pick at 142.2. Jack Daniel's first place, Stag second, ODB third. Blend is killer. Casey Meyer Origin Series, that's what it was. Origin, not Discovery. So anyway, yeah, thanks a lot for watching, folks. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers, everybody.